I'm getting back into Xenoverse 2 here some more. I thought we would do something a little bit different again. And I'm actually doing this in favor of 1GBP, who left a comment on my channel. I think it was on the solo video I did recently with my Frieza character and Parallel Quest 122. But he wanted to know what I recommend for a control scheme. And I think a lot of players will agree with this setup, as I personally think it's like the easiest and just in general most accessible setup to play the game with. So it doesn't matter if you're using a PS4 controller or an Xbox controller, it'll work for both of them just fine. I personally think PS4 is better because not a whole lot of people know this about the Xbox controllers, and not a whole lot of people might agree with it either. But believe it or not, Sony actually uses quality parts that are built to last quite longer, making it so that you really don't ever have to take apart the controller and, you know, replace the buttons or send it in for warranty and, you know, shit like that. Because I can tell you about how long I've had my PS2 controllers, and I think I had those for like over 8 years, and they were still in like really good freaking mint condition. So anyway, I personally recommend PlayStation 4 controller, and if you play on PC, it's really easy. You just go into I like to go into big picture and then controller settings, and then enable PlayStation 4 controller support. But with that out of the way, let me go over my control scheme really quick. And again, I think a lot of people will agree with this. See, in Xenoverse 1, there were 3 presets. There was only like preset 1, preset 2, preset 3. You couldn't really fully customize it unless you're using like this really bad and really weird third-party controller for some odd reason. I have no idea why. But, so here's what I recommend. You just leave the weak and strong attack as is, same with the blast. I recommend putting your jump to your left bumper or L1, and putting descend for a left trigger or L2, and then for boosting and also proccing your ultimate and evasive, I personally recommend you know, X or A. And then guard, obviously I recommend either right bumper or R1. Lock on, and here's a really good reason why I recommend lock on is L3. Because you're rarely ever going to need to click it. And I've had this happen on other controllers before, where too much use of the L3, or the, I think it's L3 on both PlayStation and Xbox. Anyway, too much use of it can like screw up the control stick completely. It'll like knock it out of place, and then once you like twist it back on, it's never the same. It's stuck in this infinite really bad dead zone that will either go all over the place or in one direction. So I don't recommend that, especially if you're using a Microsoft controller. And then the Dragon Radar, that's to like search the map and make it bigger or smaller for when you're hunting Dragon Balls. Holding it also does limit burst, self-explanatory, that's what I recommend. Skill display and ultimate attack, obviously I recommend that as right trigger or R2. And here's the biggest hurdle you're gonna have to overcome, but it's very easy and very doable, especially once you get the hang of it. And by that I mean like holding RT or R2, and then with either X or A. And then you're gonna have to like move your index finger onto like the Y button or the triangle case, depending the triangle button, depending on you know, which controller you're using. But anyway, for Scour, I look at it as so if I were to look dead ahead of me or look at someone in front of me, it just made sense for me to put that as up. And quest info, it slides in from the right, so I had it mapped to the right on the D-pad. I just thought it made sense. Battle item, so I like to think of it as, okay, do I need to use anything to heal or whatever, so I have it pointed towards me. And then chat obviously comes up from the left side of the screen, so I just think this is a lot easier to like help you remember like which is which. That's pretty much it though. Like everything else you can really leave default. But anyway, that is what I recommend for a control scheme. Again, I think a lot of people will agree with this. In fact, most players I've seen have pretty much like the exact same control scheme. But anyway, experiment with what works for you. Hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys later. I'll probably be uploading my next solo vid on 122 relatively soon here. Again, I did go through it with all my characters, managed to do it without help. Limit bursting, healing, etc. It was really difficult, but I was, you know, able to get through it all. I actually spent, I want to say, 3 straight hours one night getting it done for, you know, the rest of my characters. It wasn't very fun, but anyway, look forward to that in the near future, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.